I can't tell if today's prompt is like calling me out on series I'm behind on, or if it's making me want to go buy manga so I can actually catch up on the series that I'm featuring today. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. It is another day, another week of Top 5 Wednesday, and I'm super excited for this prompt because, I don't know, I'm just excited to be talking about manga. Me and my daughter have been sick, though she has been very sick with a stomach bug recently, and so I feel like it's just been sort of a lonely and hard past weekend, and just very thankful to be here and to be filming. And talking about being thankful, I did share why I'm thankful for this place and how this channel is my playground, and I'm also featuring a giveaway. So if you haven't entered that giveaway yet, be sure to check out this video here so you can go enter. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga to reflect the said prompt. And today's prompt is need to finish collecting. We're talking about whether you have started a series, you absolutely love that series, but then you're like, oh, look at this shiny other series, and you forget about the series you were loving and collecting because a new one came out and you're like, well, I have to binge buy all of the rest of the series. Or maybe that's not even the case and you just started a series and you just haven't finished collecting it for whatever reason. So regardless of which reason, we're just talking about manga today that we need to finish collecting. And like I said, this sort of makes me want to go out and go buy the manga that I need to finish collecting. For number 1, this honestly is a real struggle right now because my friend was super sweet and sent me this volume and I really want to go buy the whole series. Trying to restrain myself here, but that is Skip Beat, and shout out to my friend Danielle. She sent me this volume and I'm so excited. I don't currently have any other volumes of the series, but I know for sure my library has it. But since Danielle sent me this volume, I was like, I really want to have the whole series for myself now. I actually have volume 1 in my cart. I saw volume 2 is currently out of stock, and so that of course led down the rabbit trail of going to find when's volume 2 going to come in stock? Are there any used volumes that are in good condition for a low price? Yeah, I did all of the searching. I think it was like Sunday night to see what I could find. If you guys remember, Skippy was actually one of, I think in the top 6 or top 5 series that got the most votes during my shoujo event earlier this summer. It's definitely been high on my radar to check out. At one point, I had the whole entire series checked out from my library, but I do not know what happened. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. I took a break from reading and I'm like have been itching now that things are going back to normal, and I'm not like binge reading like 10 volumes a day or anything, which is super high for my reading standards. I don't typically read that many volumes in a day, but I've been itching to really want to read Skip Beat again, and I was like, this has to be featured because I was just so thankful that my friend sent it. And I literally just found a pin, I think it was last week, of the main girl here, Kyoko. She looks so cute and I was like, I really want it, but I'm like, I have to read some of the series first. So my plan is to buy volume 1, read volume 1, and then go from there and work my way up to volume 44. I don't know which order. Like, I made plans this year that was like, I'm going to read the rest of my collection that's unread by the end of the year. I did that. Some things just sort of went into chaos and I just couldn't seem to move forward in my reading. So I erased my entire schedule, calendar, TBR. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to read whatever suits my fancy. And Skip Beat is officially on this list of wanting to read ASAP. And so I just wanted to share that I definitely need to finish it collecting. I'm starting backwards, but I'm still really, really excited. I know so many people who love this series, and I'm just like, I want on the hype train here because the things I've heard, I really feel like this is gonna be a series I super duper enjoy. I've just got to, I guess, get a backlog of video reviews ready for this channel and then just dive in because I want to read it. So this is my number 1 for series that I really want to finish collecting. For number 2, this has been on my list for a hot minute, and that is Shonen Note Boy Soprano. ProfOtaku got this for me for Christmas. I have a video unboxing it. He was my secret Santa, and I love this volume. Like, it brought tears to my eyes. It reminded me of when I was in high school and how much I love singing, how much I love being part of the school choir, so to speak, and I felt like a lot of the feelings that were captured in this manga just brought like all of those memories back. But I'm so behind on this series. Like, I I think at this point, there's probably like 4 or 5 volumes out right now. And I don't know, I feel like I missed the window to pre-order them, but obviously I could still order them. But I just don't see people talking about this series. And so I don't think to pick it up until like I look at my shelf when I'm not ordering manga, like after I order manga or something. And I'm like, I really need to finish reading this series or collecting it at least. I don't know how long the series is, but I know like I see this other manga creator's work. It's not in the clear moonlit dust, but I feel like it has like similar words in the title. I'll try and leave it here. But I see that manga all the time, and I see a lot of people love that series. But I'm like, where are the people who love Shonen Note? Because I need to see it more often so I can remember to actually catch up on this series. I don't know where it's going to go because I feel like volume 1 really centered around our male lead and the struggles that he's having. He gets so emotionally moved when he hears great music. There's a few other things that are going on, but when you get like to the end, some things happen. Sorry, I know I said that twice by accident. Almost went into spoilers. It seems like though that he's going to have a rival of sorts, and so I'm very curious where this is going to go. If you've read this series, please let me know what you thought of it, because I don't know anybody who has continued reading past volume 1, but it's a series I definitely need to finish collecting myself and read it for myself so I can find out. Oh my goodness, for number 3, I'm going to feature Please Save My Earth. If you follow me on Instagram, I don't think I shared anywhere else, but on Discord outside of Instagram, I recently won almost this entire series. I'm going to leave the girls' handle here because I said it wrong when I did my Instagram stories, and I was like, I feel so bad. But I won this in her giveaway, and I was so shocked. This is a really hard series to find from my understanding, and the reason I'm featuring it today is because there were just 3 volumes that were missing. I believe it was 7, 9, and like 13. One of those, she said, is the unicorn volume, which I think was like the volume 13 or something, and it's like ridiculously priced. It's like From Far Away, where it's just so much for individual volumes. Like, why is it that ridiculously priced? I don't think I'm gonna plan to collect those 3 volumes physically. I just plan to get them digitally because I feel like that's the cheapest way to be able to read the entire series. But I haven't got the volumes digitally yet, so I wanted to feature it, and maybe I was a little bit doing that on purpose because I wanted to feature this series today. And I was like, well, if I don't buy the digital volumes yet, then I can wait and, feature it today. So I don't actually know much about this series except for I know a few friends on Twitter who speak very, very highly. When I had shared on a shoujo Discord channel, a lot of people said that this manga is an absolute masterpiece. Outside of honestly the girls or the ladies that I know there, I don't know anybody else who's read this series. Like, I've never seen, and the lady that I won this from, outside of her, I've never seen anybody else feature this on Instagram. I don't know if people love it or not, but I found out that there is an OVA. I don't know if it's like a faithful adaptation of the manga or not, but when I was reading the back, because I try not to even like flip in the inside because I really just wanted to go in like spoiler free with this series. It seems like this main girl though, that she moves to a different town, and her name's Alice, which I thought was the coolest thing, but she moves to this new town and she's being, I guess, harassed by this guy here, I'm assuming. He sort of turns her world upside down though, because she is stuck babysitting, and I guess there's a tragedy that happens, and I was like, what does that mean when we say the word tragedy? But it says that what Alice doesn't realize is there could be a greater force at work than unhappy chance. So I'm very curious about this. This is a science or sci-fi science fiction shoujo manga, and I'm very, very, very curious about it. I told myself I wanted to start reading right away, but then I was like, I don't want to rush into this either. I really definitely plan to do a video review at some point when I finish reading it, but I'm like, I really want to savor this because this feels like a really special time to have this special kind of reading opportunity, because after I had seen friends share about it, I was like, there's no way I will ever read this series. My library doesn't have it. I'm like, I don't know enough about it to commit buying the whole series digitally, and it's not on the Viz Media app, and so I'm like, I can actually read this series. I'm so excited, like nervously excited, because I'm like, wow, like this is just so amazing. I am so very stoked, and again, stay tuned at some point for a video review. I did look a little bit in the inside, and the art is so gorgeous. Like, I really, really like it, and the covers are absolutely breathtaking. So very, very excited. Need to finish collecting the digital volumes so I can go ahead and start reading this series. For number 4, I am so excited to feature this volume. I technically haven't even read it, but that is Sleepy Princess in the demon castle. So a few weeks ago, no, it's probably been a few months now. I think it was sometime over the summer, but my husband started watching the anime of this. Oh my goodness, I was hooked. I was so invested. I felt so happy. The art was beautiful. The animation was gorgeous. Like everything about it was so amazing. Low key begged my husband, could we get this volume? I almost was gonna binge buy the entire series, but I'm really been trying to put my foot down on that. Like, no, you do not need to binge buy a whole series. You need to read like 3 volumes and then go from there. Or if not, the much cheaper option as well. Well, a friend did tell me this is on the either Shonen Jump app or the Viz Media app, but also I know my library has this, but I'm like, I want it for myself because it was just such a fun animation, or fun anime, excuse me, and had such a great time. I do eventually, though, want to read this volume. I was skim reading this volume before this video, and I was like, it's so good. It's about this young lady here. She gets kidnapped by the Demon King and imprisoned in jail, but she's so bored. Like, she's a princess, and she's like, you know what? I am just gonna sleep. But the thing is like, her sleeping condition is not good. Like, her bed's not soft enough, her pillow's not soft enough, and so she goes on these adventures in the Demon King's castle, creates so much havoc and shenanigans of trying to find different things to soften her bed. Like, one of them, there are these adorable little teddy bears. They're so cute, and so she ends up brushing their fur and uses it to make the softest of pillows. But the thing is she had to go get scissors, and so she steals them from this one guy. What? Here they are. They're called the teddy demons, and look how cute they are. They are so adorable, and she was about to take them out so that she could use their fur, their stuffing, to make a pillow, but she ends up brushing them because look, you can even see, look, she's gonna go take them out. She's like, this is all in service to getting a good night's sleep, but look how scared they are. They're terrified. They're terrified. And that's when she decides to end up brushing them, and she gets all of this fur, and it works out in the end. The little teddies were okay and safe. No harm was done to them. But that's just like the very beginning, and there's so many shenanigans. Like, it's such a fun, I was gonna say slice of life fantasy. I don't know if there is a lot of plot that happens later on, because right now it's just a lot of shenanigans involving what she can do to get the best night's sleep. And sometimes it's not even at nighttime. Sometimes it's just during the day. I loved it though. I had such a great time. Very fond memories of the anime. In fact, I loved it so much I didn't even finish it, which sounds really weird, but I heard there's only 1 season of the anime, and I'm like, well, it can't end if I don't finish watching it, even though I super enjoyed it. I'm hoping at some point to read this volume. If I super love it, I want to continue to read the series, though I might just go with my library and save myself the money. But I had to feature it because it's so much fun. I think if you want a fantasy with cute art and just a really fun story where this princess, she just wants to sleep. She doesn't care that she's at the Demon King's castle. She's like, just make sure I sleep well and everything's okay. Meanwhile, her kingdom though is like, we need to get her back, and they're freaking out, making plans of what to get her back, and she's just, you know, at the castle just sleeping away. It is such a fun story that I would definitely and highly recommend. For number 5, I feel like I'm cheating just a tad. I'm gonna say The Earl and the Fairy. This is a 4-volume manga series. Technically, I have volumes 2 through 4 on back order, but I need to finish collecting it, so it's like, well, it technically fits the prompt. I'm gonna feature it today because I saw it on my shelf and I was like, you know what? I wish I had the rest of this series. I originally read volumes 1 through 4 from my library. I do have a review up on my channel if you'd like to check it out. I was flipping through the pages, and I love the art. I forgot how much I love this story. It is a fun, really engaging mystery that has a lot of great fantasy elements, but more Western fantasy than, say, Japanese folklore. I just felt like I was thrown back into the fantasy novels that I read years ago. It was a very fun and engaging story, though the beginning opens up and it is just, I was about to say chaos, but I feel like that's going to imply the wrong thing. Let's just say it starts off with a bang, and I was like, okay, I'm like, I don't know where this series is going, and I feel like it kept me on the edge of my seat through all the volumes. It's just a bummer that the manga series did not do, or like did not, I'm blanking blanking on the word, but it didn't basically adapt. There we go. All of the light novels. I mean, thankfully, J Novel Club has released the light novels digitally, so we can read ahead. But it's just so obvious with the manga that the story was not done yet, and I so desperately wanted more. Seeing where this series was just going to go, because Eggert is something else, and Lydia, who is a fairy doctor, can see fairies, though most people, or majority of people, cannot see them at all, and they solve sort of these different cases. I feel like volumes 1 and 2 center around one major case that is almost life-threatening, and volume 2 was my absolute favorite. Like, I felt like I forgot to breathe when reading this series. It was so captivated, and so I'm like, I would love to have the rest of this series reprinted. Granted, I probably could find some of the volumes used, but I have not found them used for like an affordable, cheap price where they're in good condition at that. But I loved it, and I definitely think if you like mystery reads with that Western fantasy vibe, this is one to check out. It sort of gets a little bit darker as it goes on, but not like super dark. You just find out things about Eggert's past. It gets deep, and I love Lydia because Lydia don't put up with any of his smack and the things he'd be trying to say, the things he'd be trying to do. Like, no, she puts him in his place. I'm like, you go, girl, you tell him. Even though I did like Eggert. I didn't like him in the beginning, though. I'm not gonna lie. I did not love him in the beginning, but he definitely wore on me as the series goes on. Hopefully, eventually, I will be able to finish collecting the series. It would be super nice if I could. For my honorable mention, I am doing Wonder Cat Chon. Since my daughter has been really sick, I was sort of like wanting to just pick a title in honor of her, so to speak. I know we're mainly caught up actually with this one. We're on volume 6, so we've only read volumes, I believe just volumes 1 through 3 is what we've actually read. And I think volume 7 just came out, but my husband's like, you guys can't get any more Wonder Cat Chon until you finish reading what we have. I need to make that a priority. We were sort of reading some of the volumes, random ones, whichever one she wanted to read, because thankfully that is like the awesomeness of the series. You don't have to read in numerical order. You honestly could just read wherever you want because it's a slice of life. It's the, was it the 4 coma, as they say? And it is colored. It's mainly just pink. It's so cute. Q-chan makes the day better. Like, he just does. And so you can read it whenever, wherever, however, I guess you could say. We really love this series. It's such a, like I said, Q-chan just makes the day better. Very bright and very happy, very sweet, with plenty of cat shenanigans. I love the little ghosty. He's not on this one, but he's so cute. He's so cute. Like, he's like, nobody's afraid of me, and Q-chan befriends him, and I feel like their little friendship is just so incredibly adorable. I love how Q-chan really tries to encourage this, I forget his name, but his master, make his day better, just creates all of this happy fluffiness that's such a delight to read this series. I don't know why we're so behind on reading it. I'm pretty sure we're on volume 4, but we've read like some of volume 5, we've read some of volume 4, we've read all of volume 1, but like I said, it doesn't matter as long as it's just happy reading, but the covers are so cute and so vibrant. I love how there's birds in the background. I just realized that. And that is a fun part of this series, is because while it is cat focused, I feel like as we get further in the volumes, we see a little bit of dog focus and then a little bit of bird focus, which is really nice because I feel like we don't get much manga that have someone that has a deep love for birds. So it's a very sweet and wholesome manga I would recommend as well. And those are my picks for today's prompt of manga that I need to finish collecting. I'm not going to go look online to go see if I can find any deals for these manga. I will not. I just cannot. But I hope to at some point finish collecting these, even if it's just slow and steady or just going to my library and seeing if they have any, because I really love all of these series, or at least of what I have read of them. But I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some manga that you need to finish collecting that you would love to have on your shelf, or just finish reading? I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!